on. I think they are still struggling to join the art of writing, and we're talking about working on your plans. That's the last point we were trying to address, working on your plan. That's plan hacking, and we're talking about how to structure your writing project in a way that makes it easy for you to break the big goal down into small goals that will become easily achievable. So, and then I think I was already through with talking about using the example of a 20-chapter fiction or a 50,000 word fiction. So it depends on what you want to write. What you are writing will be different from what the other person is writing, and the time you have to commit to your writing will be different from what another person have to. So you don't have to. There is no standard. There's no standard plan. The plan is you. The plan depends on what works best for you. So if you are a full-time writer, for example, it means you have the whole day. It's different from someone who writes for leisure, someone who just enjoy writing and then they are not making a career out of it. So it depends on individuals, and that's going to affect how we plan. So the most important thing is you need to just know who you are, know what works for you, and work with that. Finally, which I think is the most important part of the writing thing itself, is starting to write. Because you discover that people keep planning and planning, they continue to plan and plan until they end up doing nothing. So the most important part of planning to write is starting to write. That's my own principle. That's what I believe. Start writing. There is never going to be the best time or the best day, because the best time to start writing is now. The best day to start writing is today. So if you have it in mind to write whatever kind of content, start writing today. I'll tell you that I've read stories of many people who started writing at a time when they had no plans. They're not planning to do anything with it. They just kept writing as things occurred to them. Later on, several years later, something came up and they ended up making a lot of money from content that they developed at a time when they were not even thinking of making any use of them. So you don't know what could happen. Work on what you have now. Work on this inspiration you get now and see. Do your writing because it gives you pleasure. And then when later on something good, something positive, something maybe economical come out of it, it will not be because that's what you were gunning for. It will be because you are just reaping the benefits of the time you have invested in writing. So start writing now. That's the point I'm trying to make. So go ahead, get a blank sheet, because that's where to start from. People are always saying they find it hard to start. They don't know what to write first. The first thing to write is the first thing that occurs to you. Just put pen to paper and write something and start from there. Okay, so that's the end of the 4 issues that I promised I was going to address. And so this is what we were discussing before, working on your plan, how you can section fiction book, 20 chapter or 50,000 words, and the fact that you need to start writing right away. Okay, so like I mentioned at the beginning of this workshop, that this is just an introduction. This is something that applies to any kind of writing that you want to write. But if we are going to be addressing real writing, we have to focus on a particular thing. Maybe fiction writing. Even within fiction writing, you write fictions for kids, you write for young adults, you write different kinds of fiction. So if we are going to be addressing all this, we can't do that in a short workshop of this type. So we need real good time to work on this. So the plan that we have is to have hands-on sessions where you can actually come and start and do something that works for you. Maybe you want to start a project, and then after the workshop, you can go ahead and complete your project. And you can also use that opportunity to build a community of writers that can encourage you to develop your writing. So all that is going to come up in the future. So we are looking at future workshops on non-fiction writing, on fiction writing, on publishing, everything that is related to writing. And if you have anything in mind that you think we can also address, please don't hesitate to put in the chat box. I'll be able to read them, and then the organizers of this workshop, that's the Xpress Train, KOTO Association, I think you can check their space from time to time for opportunities like this. It will always be announced, and you can take advantage of those sessions. So the summary of what we discussed from the beginning is that everyone can write better. So there are opportunities to write better. That is, you have to invest in writing better. That's why we have this kind of workshops. And I also mentioned that writing is good for you for so many reasons. It could be entertainment, it could be could work for your healing, work on your health. It's very good for you to explore your imaginations. It could be an opportunity for you to leave a legacy. And also, bad writing can ruin your business. We mentioned that, or your reputation as a person. So, and then finally, we discussed about 4 things that you need to work on to make a success of your writing career. That's working on yourself, working on your environment or space, working on your audience or target, and working on your plans. And finally, the fact that you need to start writing now. Don't wait until a better time, because the best time is right this moment. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening. If there is any question, I'll be ready to take them now. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay? So in the absence of any question, I'll be seeing you in future workshops. Thank you very much for joining us. And do enjoy the rest of your lockdown period at home. Bye-bye.